Hey, what is up guys? As most of you already know, Arc's 3.0 biggest weakness is not being able to survive as long as the other subclasses. Unfortunately, we just don't have enough healing or even overshields. However, today I made this build that's going to completely change the way you look at Arc 3.0 Titans, and I call this Solar 4.0. But let's start from the basics, as this can get quite complicated. This build is going to revolve around spamming abilities and buffing your grenade so it deals the most amount of damage possible. Just to show you how incredibly strong our storm grenade is, we are going to use this Lost Sector boss as an example. With a Gjallarhorn it takes 3 shots to kill him, whereas with our grenade it only takes 1 throw and he's dead. This basically means that 1 grenade is equivalent to 2 or 3 Gjallarhorn shots, which is absolutely insane, because we get this grenade back as fast as 6 freaking seconds. If you perform the combo right, you will even have 2 storm grenades up at the same time. But before we get into more detail, I would like to invite you guys to join my Discord and ask me any questions that you might have. Come and join the family. Now, as I was saying, you will have very strong grenades every 6 to 10 seconds. However, the best part about this build is that those grenades will be healing you whenever it defeats an enemy. The grenade will also be spawning solar elemental wells, which once picked up will activate Well of Life, meaning that you will have 2 things healing you at all time. I want you guys to familiarize yourself with the mod Heal Thyself, because it's a mod I thought I was never going to use, honestly. This mod causes you to heal yourself whenever you get a kill with your grenade. With 1 copy of the mod, that healing is 25% of your health. However, and listen carefully because this is very important, it will only heal you once you have been damaged at least 25%, which is the same as being at 75% health. This is also the reason why we are not running 2 of these mods, because 2 of them would only heal you once your health drops to 50%. And in a lot of scenarios, if your health drops that low, you will most likely die either way. So having 1 copy of this mod is going to make much more use of the mod, and it will keep you constantly healthy. All of this is going to be possible thanks to the exotic Heart of Inmost Light, which I'm pretty sure most of you already know what it does, as it has been meta for the past couple of seasons. But to summarize it, whenever you use one ability, it empowers the other 2, meaning they gain faster regen and deal more damage. So stat-wise, we are going to be aiming for 100 resilience, 100 discipline, and then the rest you can put in recovery. Ability-wise, the thruster seems like the best option because it keeps you mobile. However, I do like Rally Barricade, as I feel like it could be very good in some harder content when you actually need some extra cover. So feel free to use either one, both are perfectly fine. Now, when it comes to your melees, I've been trying all of them, and honestly, between Seismic Strike and Thunderclap, there's not that much of a difference, so just use whichever one you like the most. For your grenade, we are going to be using Storm Grenades. Aspect-wise, we are using Knockout, but we are mainly using this for the 2 fragment slots that it provides. Touch of Thunder is going to improve your Storm Grenade by creating a roaming thundercloud that tracks enemy targets and fires bolts of lightning at them. Fragment-wise, we are starting with Spark of Magnitude. This is going to increase the duration of our Storm Grenade, which is very good. Next up we have Spark of Shock, which is going to jolt our targets whenever we hit them with our grenade. Then we have Spark of Ions, which is going to create ionic traces whenever we defeat a jolted target, which our grenade jolts targets, meaning that we are going to be getting ionic traces just from our grenade. And then finally we are using Spark of Feedback. However, this one is mainly for the 10 resilience that it provides. So if you want to swap a fragment, this is the one that you can swap out. As for our mods, we are going to be starting off with Explosive Wellmaker, and this is going to be creating those solar elemental wells whenever you defeat target with explosive damage, and that includes Gjallarhorns, explosive personality, your grenade, anything that deals explosive damage. We are also going to pair this up with Ashes to Assets to get our super much quicker. On our gauntlets, we are going to be running Elemental Charge, and this is going to make us charge with light whenever we pick up an elemental well. We are also pairing this up with Grenade Kickstart, which is going to give us that nice extra grenade energy whenever we throw our grenade. Now, if you need a second slot for a mod capable of dealing with champions, then simply swap this out for any champion mod. On our chestplate, we are going to be running Heal Thyself, and this is what's going to be healing us whenever our grenade gets a kill. However, you do have to be charged with light for this to work, so keep that in mind. On our boots, we are going to be running Well of Life, and this is going to provide us that 10-second healing whenever we pick up an solar elemental well. And finally, on our Titan mark, we are going to be using Elemental Ordnance, which is going to be spawning Arc Elemental Wells whenever we get a kill with our grenade. Then we are also using the seasonal artifact mod, which is Trace Evidence, and this is going to create ionic traces whenever we defeat an arced debuffed combatant, meaning our grenade is also going to be spawning ionic traces whenever it defeats targets. And finally, we are pairing this up with a bomber mod, which is going to be very useful because we are going to be constantly spamming our class ability, which is our thruster, meaning that this is going to constantly be reducing our grenade cooldown. Now, if you are doing easier content and you feel like you don't need all the healing that this build provides, then the 3 mods that you have to swap out are Explosive Well Maker from your helmet, Heal Thyself from your chestplate, and then Well of Life from your boots. Swap those 3 mods out for either 3 copies of Firepower or 3 copies of Bountiful Wells. That's going to provide you with even more ability energy, which is going to further increase your spam of abilities. Weapon wise, you can pretty much use anything you want. However, I would suggest using weapons that are capable of creating solar elemental wells thanks to its explosions. For example, Explosive Personality, Gjallarhorn. You also have weapons like Sunshot, anything that creates explosions, because that's also going to be creating those extra solar wells for you, which means even more healing. Apart from that, you can absolutely use anything you want. The way you play this build is by trying to keep your grenade empowered the whole time. That way it gets that faster regen as much as possible. To make this happen, we are going to use our grenade first, followed by our thruster or barricade if you prefer, and then if possible, you also want to hit that melee after that. This will empower your grenade to ×2, making it very deadly. This will also keep your thruster empowered, meaning you will be getting it even faster, which is very important as we have a bomber mod on our Titan mark, meaning that every time we use our thruster, we will be getting grenade energy back for free. I hope that you guys see where this is going. We have so many different ways of getting our abilities back that it's almost insane how strong this build is. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed the build. Have some fun with it and tell me in the comments below how are you liking it. As always, thank you for watching, and if you could like and sub, then I would really appreciate it. Good luck and have fun.